Okay, you're listening to theFIVE10.com. This is Clay. I'm sitting here with Paul from the incomparable Mutemath. How are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
I am a little cold, but other than that, wonderful. You guys have had quite a day today, huh?
We did. It was a lot of flying in from our days off. We just had the past couple days off, so some of us went home.
So you go all the way home just to come?
Yeah, when we get like a 2-day stretch off, I'm a new dad, so my little girl's 9 months old, so I try to make some time on the off days to get back home. Roy's the same thing. He's got 2 young boys, so
it can get a little tough. And if you're somebody like Dave Grohl, I've seen he brings his family with him, and you have all the accommodations ready to go.
Right.
But not everybody has that sort of.
You got to be on a certain level. So yeah, we're still on the. You play it by ear. You just kind of scrounge for your time off, and you try to make the most of it. So it was nice. It was a nice break. But yeah, there was some
today you had a performance.
Question marks if we were going to make it in today with weather issues and stuff. But we did.
So let's do new record stuff a little bit because it's been out. Obviously, a lot of people have questions that haven't answered.
I have questions.
You have questions? Well, let's start with number one. Very, very different sound. And Roy played most guitar, correct?
He did.
Okay. Which is probably why, I'm going to assume it's probably why it's very riffy.
Yes, but we encourage that. I can't, it's not like we were fighting him on it. It was something that we were craving. I think the handful of songs that we've done in the past that seems to have worked for us very well. Typical being one, Spotlight being another.
Right.
Break the Same. We wanted to write a record that built off of those. This is a lot of riff-based parts in that. So we were all attracted to the opportunity of a riff and following it.
Okay. Yeah, because that's not typical for you guys. You're very
That's been a little more on the oddities of what we've done in the past. But it certainly has been an important part of the songs that have seemed to have worked best for us. Just turn up the guitar, see what happens. But it wasn't all guitars on this record. If you begin to listen past the first couple songs, there's a lot of the keyboards leading the charge on some of the riffs or synth bass stuff that's kind of leading the meat.
I guess what I'm getting at is that it's very, compared to your first record, it's a lot more linear than the first record. The first record was very spacey. There was a lot of ambience, however you pronounce it, to it. And so this had an obvious different sound. I didn't know if that was a full band direction, like you all decided to do that, or if that was a big influence on Roy taking over guitar parts.
Well, it's
or both.
Both. Yeah, and I think all of us kind of picked up guitar to some degree. Roy plays guitar best, so even if we had an idea, Roy wound up playing it the best, so he got it. But I would disagree with you by saying this record's more linear. I think this record's actually more dynamic than everything we've done in the past. What makes a linear record to me is just schlop loads of tracks and textures. Mm-hmm. This record has more space in it.
You think it has more space in it?
Yeah, it has more space, and it breathes more than any of our other records.
And then how's things going? I mean, on the road, obviously, I don't know much about Todd. I'm curious to find out about him. And
Todd's good people.
And how that came to be. Was he already an acquaintance? Was it?
He was. Darren had mutual friends with Todd. Todd's from Springfield, Missouri, which is where Darren's from, where Greg was from. A lot of people that we know who we've made music with from Springfield.
So if you
Missouri.
Want a chance at Mutemath, you need to go to Missouri.
Should be in Missouri.
Okay.
Chances are good. And so when Greg first left, there was only a handful of guys that immediately came to mind that we should probably give a phone call to and just see if they'd be interested. We didn't want to do the arduous audition process. That's a nightmare. So fortunately, when we called Todd, he was up for it. He was just coming out of another gig, and he was looking for something new, and he jumped on it. He's an extremely talented guy. And he immediately went and bought our DVDs and stuff and studied all the pedals Greg had. Because, the role of guitar player in this band goes beyond just playing guitar.
No, of course. There's a lot of technical...
Yeah. And he learned it all. The keyboard stuff, he's just a great musician. He's a great singer. So he was able to hit the ground running. A
lot of back catalog to kind of look into and figure out... Because you still have to play those songs too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it can't just be
when we first all got together for rehearsal, he knew all that stuff a lot better than we did. We're like, what do we do again here? They're supposed to be doing this, and he was the most refreshed with all that.
Well, that's cool. And then how's Odd Soul treating you? How is it? Is it going over how you thought it would go over?
I thought our fans were going to like it a lot more than they wound up liking it. There are certainly people who like it, love it. I mean, Blood Pressure, as far as if you just put it up against what a radio song normally does for us, which is not much, Blood Pressure's at least lived up to that. VH1 gave it a plug, yeah. And one of the great things that's happened on this record is we've got an opportunity to go to Australia for the first time.
Nice.
Which we have never been on the radar on past records in Australia, but the radio station down there picked up this record, got behind it, and now we get a chance to expand there and go see what's going on.
And Australia's a good place to be. Just from eyeing other bands, it's a lot of people, they seem to be more into rock music than they are here. So I'm actually kind of surprised that nobody picked up on that earlier in Australia.
Yeah, maybe they love the riff
and UK
a little more than we
matter.
have in the past. Maybe that helped. But yeah, so we're really looking forward to that. We'll go there in May the first time.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. I had put out a message last night saying that I'd be talking to you guys, and I asked if any of our readers had any questions for you at all. And there's just a couple that I thought were kind of funny. And the first one that I saw was, wait, that show's tomorrow? I need tickets. So I guess he kind of answered his own question.
There you go. It never ceases to amaze me that we'll announce a tour well in advance. Blitzing the internet, blitzing our Twitter and Facebook, and we go play our show, and a week later, it never fails. Like after tonight, we will get a bunch of emails of going, when are you coming to play San Francisco? And you look at their profile, whatever, and they're friends with us. They follow us.
Yep.
It's like, how are they missing it? I don't know.
Social media is interesting.
Is it a lot of casual just, and then I guess it's over, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, what did Kat Von D say today? And then
Exactly. It's not as reliable as one would hope.
Next question. Another artist that somebody, in your opinion, must listen to right now that you think is great. Maybe something.
Of anything?
Of anything. Something that you're really getting into that just right now, if you recommend it to somebody and they had to pick it up and listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great records that come to mind is James Brown live in Dallas. One of the most inspired live recordings ever. Whenever we need to pick me up and just a nice jolt
just throw that
of creativity, we usually throw that on.
That's cool.
But I have a bunch of favorite that I would certainly recommend. Of course, most people have probably heard them. But a lot of my go-tos, Flamin' Lips, Yoshimi. Mm-hmm. Love that record. That was pivotal for me. Radiohead's Kid A was another life-changing moment.
OK Computer is my pinnacle for them, but Kid A's.
Yeah, I was one of those other Radiohead fans. I was like, OK Computer was, yeah. And then when I heard Kid A, it was like, then all of a sudden I got it. And I go back and listen to OK Computer and like it as much. But Kid A is the one that holds a special place in my heart.
Gotcha.
And DJ Shadow introducing an important record for me. That was one of the first records me and Darren bonded over when I first met him, and he was asking me, what should I listen to? What should I try? He loved Beck, he loved Bjork, he loved a lot of the electronic Beastie Boy, Dust Brothers stuff that was happening in the mid-'90s. And when DJ Shadow came out with Introducing, that was a must for anyone who was into that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
So that's a pivotal record.
Cool. Then that answers that. And then the final question was, and this one's just purely, I think, entertainment. If Mutemath were stranded in the Himalayas, who would be eaten first? And this is strictly, obviously, your opinion.
I think we're the kind of band that would equally offer up limbs. All right?
What a great way to respond to that.
Tonight, guys, we're eating legs. Off with everyone's legs. Are we in? And that's the kind of band I'd like to think we are.
Live, breathe, and die together type of thing. That's okay. You turned a silly question into an actually. I had to think about the answer.
Sorry about that, but made it all serious and warm and fuzzy.
So, what are your thoughts on Schindler's List? Well, anyway, no, it's been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate you taking the time. You guys obviously had a busy schedule today.
It's going to be a great show tonight.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to it, and you'll see me down in the pit when it starts. So, all right.
Have fun. Enjoy it, guys.